Welcome back to the Jonah and Ben podcast. This is the most welcoming podcast of Jonah and the Ben podcast ever. Here at Six Flags Great Adventure employee parking lot. No, I did not just dox us. Red Bulls take on Inter Miami in the Sunshine State. Sunshine State at New Stadium. It's RBNY's first appearance at the new stadium, literally. And RBNY coming off a 4-2 victory. I'm joined by the Ben and the Jonah and Ben podcast. Ben, what do you have to say about this game and last week's game? Whatever you want to start with.
The New York Red Bulls looked very strong against Football Club Cincinnati. The main takeaway for Red Bull New York fans is how Cade Cowell impressed. He played his best game as a Red Bull in his very short time with the club. He played those balls. He played all those good runs. Yes, it only appeared on the stat sheet that he got one assist, but two of those goals were because of Cowell. That first goal scored by Julian Hall, that's all Cowell, just passing it. And those are the goals you need from your strikers to just be in the right spot, be in the right time. And that's what Red Bull New York got against FC Cincinnati. Cowell has been playing very good balls this season, very good crosses, but it just hasn't been capitalized until this match where Cincinnati looked helpless. Their defense was awful. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's true. Cowell looked like a raging bull, pun intended. The way he in one-on-ones, he looked unstoppable, just went by them like it was nothing. I think helps that there were suspensions and injuries for Cincinnati's defense, obviously, but these are still professionals, and you still have to make your mark for a new club, and that he did, and then some. What? Because your segment was longer?
No, because you were drinking, that's why.
No, I had nothing to say. I was drinking because I had nothing to say.
I think Red Bull goalkeeper Ethan Horvath, he didn't have the strongest outing, but I wouldn't characterize that second goal as his fault. First goal, you just got to react. I prefer you just do literally anything else
than just stand there with your feet planted to the ground. It was ugly.
I mean,
especially from my angle.
Sure, I can understand if you're screened, but
he wasn't.
Yeah,
it was right in front of him,
and he just didn't do anything.
No.
Other than that, Red Bull looked strong in that match. I don't think there was really a flaw in their game besides, Dylan Nealis playing the ball right to a Cincinnati attacker for them to get a goal back.
But they didn't. The guy missed a wide open breakaway. And Denke missed a chance or two himself. RBNY cut a couple breaks in that regard.
I think Miami, they're coming off a 2-2 draw in their stadium opener against Austin FC. What was the interesting thing about that game? Austin opened the scoring at the new stadium, so the first goal was scored by Biro and not one of those Messi or he's retired, Regulon or Suarez or Segovia or Allende. It's not any of these Miami guys. It's one of the Austin away players, and a fullback at that. It's pretty weird.
It's kind of a fluky goal, but yeah. Messi, of course, scored the first goal for Inter Miami at the new stadium. I don't think this game will be any different it is just a new stadium. It's better for the fans, but for the players, I doubt psychologically it'll affect them more. It's just, can they avoid being starstruck? Can they just avoid making, ghastly decisions, especially with all these young players? It's really just age versus youth when it comes to this matchup, really. And RBNY are the youth, so you got to play. Beyond your years is a very cliche, but it's true. You got to play like you're 30 in this game, because you're gonna have the speed advantage, but it's about the discipline.
I think the matchup to watch for Red Bull New York is
and
how
recklessness.
Cade Cowell will match up against backup fullback Noah Allen, because Sergio Regulon has been out for the last really month and a half of the season. They've been out without their star former Real Madrid Tottenham Hotspur man. If Cowell can repeat what he did against Cincinnati in this match, the Red Bulls should be flying. They should be able to score. I don't trust Dane St. Clair to be that goalie in this match, but we've been proven wrong by him on so many levels, even good or bad. It's going to be an interesting one in this game.
You've always been the DSU defender, not me. Yeah, with RB&Y, it probably should be similar where you go down the right-hand side, specifically with JMR and Cowell, where that might freeze out Ruvalcaba and Dos Santos to an extent, but if that's just your advantageous side, that's what you got to use. And I'm sure every once in a while they'll attack down the left. But yeah, like against Cincinnati, I expect them to fully go down the right. This could be a very big game for JMR, who's had such a very good start to his Red Bull life.
He's a fringe Canadian national team player, so if Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy can play big on this big stage... He
wasn't that before joining RB&Y. He was a nobody.
Yep.
He had never played.
If he can break on if Marsh is watching, he should be able to break on in this big stage game again at one of, unfortunately,
the best
MLS
team in the Eastern Conference.
Yes.
They are. They're not the best team in the league, but
best built team, best players.
I mean, I disagree with that.
They have the best player in the East.
In the East, yeah, okay, that's true. The best player in the league plays for LAFC.
Yeah, and his name's Dennis Bouanga.
Sure, yeah, okay. Moving on. We need Dylan Nealis to be fully fit, and I just don't know if he will be, because it was scary against Cincinnati, and now you can't play the way you did against Miami. They would have scored 6, probably.
Yep. Cincinnati, they should have been able to put away so many more goals than they did. The fact that it was only 4-2 is saying a lot of how poor Cincinnati's finishing was in that game. I unfortunately, I know a lot of the Miami players. I don't know how good they are, but because unfortunately, they get the marquee matchup every week, so you get to watch them. You learn who Bertarame is because he's kind of been
a huge disappointment and bust.
Exactly. They spent
the biggest in their history so far.
They spent like $15 million.
Higuain has days though. Bertarame 0 goals.
Yeah, they're getting the same production from as we are from Ruvalcaba as they are getting from Bertarame.
Is a striker playing with Messi. This is not the same.
I get that. I'm just saying these former Liga MX guys.
We're getting more from Sofo and Chupo, who have played about 100 minutes the entire season, and they've gotten from Bertarame the $15 million striker. I'm just saying.
And he's one of their designated players.
Well, that's why we say a huge disappointment so far. What the hell is happening?
I have no idea.
You didn't know what? Okay, yeah. What's that?
Someone has a train horn on their car.
You think that's from their car?
Yes.
The park?
No, that's not a. I have never heard that horn from this park.
Okay.
That's someone's car.
Okay.
I think another thing for Red Bull New York. I was saying this last week.
Earlier, you called them New York Red Bulls. I noticed that. Why'd you do that?
Because I'm very inconsistent.
Force of
about
habit?
it. Yeah.
I mean, the New York Red Bulls is a better name.
It is, but
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Now go.
I think another thing for Red Bull is I really would like to see the return of Cameron Harper in this match, because if Red Bull go another week without Harper, he's not gonna be able. Think about it. He's not gonna return in that Riverhounds game.
Why wouldn't he?
Because why would you start a guy?
Who said start?
That's a good point.
You didn't say start. Why can't he come on for like 15, 20 minutes?
True.
It's a lower league team just to get back at RBA. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. That's what I expect them to do.
I think if Red Bull want to start Harper in the match against Pittsburgh, they need to play him in this game. There's no way about it.
I don't know if that's true.
You want to get one of your first team players back getting first team minutes before you throw him in. Figurative, throw him into the dog pound. Like I don't know. You know what I mean?
No, not really.
So feed him to the wolves.
That just doesn't work. That hyperbole was terrible.
I'm trying. You want to say anything on it?
I don't expect Harper to play. That's all I'm saying. And if he did play, where would he play? Who would he replace?
He would come on for Cowell. I would prefer that substitution on Sid.
I think he'd come in for JMR.
That also is kind of like for like.
Yeah, I think he'll... But now that JMR is performing well, he's kind of in an awkward spot unless you're going to play him out of position, which wouldn't be shocked at his RB&Y. Anything else?
I would like to mention, if Marshall Reddick can make a run for that Canadian national team right back spot, do you know any other Canadian right backs?
No.
Is it just Alistair Johnston?
Yes, I was going to say him, but yeah, probably. He can easily be a backup.
He's probably going to be on the World Cup team.
Well, yeah. It would be nice to see him actually get World Cup minutes against Tunisia and Bosnia, but we'll see.
Instead of
Qatar.
Instead of friendly minutes against Tunisia.
Yes. Okay. Anything else?
I don't know if there's anything else I want to mention about Red Bull New York.
Anything about Miami, our opponent?
Our opponent, Miami, they're coming... Well, I already mentioned their 2-2 draw. But they have tied 4 of their last 5. Granted, 2 of those were in the not the U.S. Open Cup, the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Yes. And they should have drawn NYCFC if Freeze didn't have a huge fuck up.
Well, St. Clair should have been sent off. But...
Well, he wasn't, so I guess... Yeah, so it'll be different against a team with Messi and Suarez and Wilson. I think RBNY should do fine, though.
Yeah.
All right, are we going to just move on to the match day 6 predictions? 7. We're only match day 7. A fifth of the way through the season. That's kind of scary.
Can I mention one thing in
mention it.
Big
no,
league
I'm first mentioning it.
So
I'm waiting.
Toronto FC have announced that Georgi Mihailovic...
Is this really worth mentioning?
Yeah, because that's a really big miss for them. That's their DP10.
I guess.
Georgi Mihailovic has suffered I think it was a broken pelvis.
Yeah.
That is such an awful injury and
awful. Why are we bringing that up? Is he out for the season?
It's probably going to be like 4 months.
Yeah, basically that's the season.
Yeah,
till August.
That he wasn't going to be part of the World Cup conversation, but
no one was thinking about that.
It's just
I'm just thinking about it for Toronto's perspective.
Yeah, you lose your main guy on attack that's not named Josh Sargent, so it's really
spent big and are now not going to get any results. It sucks.
Yeah,
but that's the life of a Toronto FC fan. Okay.
All right.
Anything else? Or
nope.
Go bring up the match day 7 games.
All right.
No, go bring it up.
I'm getting to it. To kick off match day 7, speaking of the devil, it's Toronto FC playing FC Cincinnati at BMO Field at 1:00.
Never say that again. That was awful.
Okay.
Cincinnati, this game is awful. 0-0.
1-1.
Okay, moving on.
Austin Football Club take on the Los Angeles Galaxy at Q2 Stadium at 2:30 Eastern.
Austin 3-1.
Galaxy 2-0.
Okay.
Here's probably the worst game of the match day. It's CF Montreal taking on the Philadelphia Union at Stade Saputo at 2:30 Eastern.
Montreal 1-0.
0-0.
I don't see
first
Philly,
Union
I don't
point.
See Philly getting a point. It won't happen.
What probably will be the best game of the match day, it is the Portland Timbers taking on Los Angeles Football Club at 4:45 in Eastern at Providence Park in Portland, Oregon.
2-2.
3-0 Los Angeles.
Whoa, I don't see that happening at Providence Park in front of the Timber Faithful and Timber Joey.
The Walmart Saturday Showdown presented by Walmart is Charlotte Football Club taking on National Soccer Club at 7:30 Eastern at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina.
2K14 reference aside, Nashville 3-1.
Nashville 2-0.
Okay.
The New England Revolution take on the worst team ever at Gillette Stadium at 7:30 Eastern.
3-1 New England.
2-0 New England.
That's a bad game.
Vancouver take on New York City at 7:30 Eastern at BC Place in Vancouver, British Columbia.
4-1 Vancouver, Muller hat trick.
5-0 Vancouver.
Okay.
Chicago Fire Football Club take on Atlanta United at Soldier Field in Chicago.
Mad about the Vancouver game. It's a damn shame that that's not in Yankee Stadium because we would have won. I would have won to see Vancouver. What was the game? Chicago Atlanta. That's actually not a bad game. Better for football. 3-2 Chicago.
1-0.
Better for baseball.
1-0 Fire.
Cubs Braves is always good. Okay. Dallas Houston. Dallas St. Louis.
Yep. The FC Dallas take on the St. Louis City Soccer Club at Toyota Stadium at 8:30 Eastern in Frisco, Texas. I'm going to predict a 1-0 St. Louis victory for this game.
Houston was at the bottom of the screen. That's why I said that. Dallas 2-1.
Sporting Kansas City take on the San Jose Earthquakes at 8:30 Eastern at Sporting Park in Kansas City, Kansas. What's your prediction?
I don't know. San Jose 1-1.
1-0 San Jose.
Okay.
The Colorado Rapids take on the Houston Dynamo at Dick's Sporting Goods Park at 9:30 Eastern in Commerce City, Colorado.
That game is terrible. 2-2.
0-0.
Okay.
San Diego FC take on Minnesota United Football Club at Snapdragon Stadium at 10:30 Eastern in San Diego, California.
By the way, yeah, we're recording this in Jackson, New Jersey again. I don't know. San Diego 3-1. James scores a penalty in the 98th minute.
Didn't he, get dehydrated and, passed out or something?
That's why it's going to be a great comeback story.
1-0 San Diego.
Okay. And the last game, the most important game of every week. What? Okay.
There's a Sunday night soccer.
Is Columbus Orlando. That's awful. 2-1 Columbus.
Why did they schedule this? 0-0.
They didn't expect Orlando to be this awful.
And Columbus.
Yeah, but Orlando are really something. Okay. Yeah, that was a mistake from me. I'm going to live up to that. I have to apologize. No. What was that? What are you doing?
You're taking apologies.
What?
My bad.
Okay. What? RB&Y are going to Miami, former home of LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Inter Miami, Red Bull New York. Who you got? Saturday, 7:30, new stadium, Keith Costigan. Final score prediction.
I will have the New York Red Bulls defeating Inter Miami in the new stadium 4-3 with Julian Hall scoring a brace, Omar Valencia adding in the 1, and Shaquille Marshall-Reddy finishing the scoring and winning the game for the New York Red Bulls in the 89th minute.
Okay, it's not a hockey game, but 2-2. I think RB&Y's defense won't look better, but Miami just don't have as much speed as Columbus, which should help them. Of course, you have the finesse and Cincinnati technical ability of all of Miami's players, aka just one. They're number 10, but so I think Miami will probably score an early goal. RB&Y score a goal right before half. RB&Y take the lead in the 60th minute, and Miami score an aggravating 83rd minute equalizer. And that's how we finish 2-2. My goals will come from Julian Hall because he's going to score in the bright lights, again, quotations, of the new stadium. And, God, I don't know. Yeah, I think I was going to have JMR score too. And then for Miami, I think Berterame just feels like fate that he's going to score against us. So I think he scores that first goal and they overhype it to shit. And Messi scores in the 80th minute because he always scores against us. All right. Anything else?
The Red Bulls are going to win tomorrow. And if they don't, I will shoot my left leg.
No, you won't.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have a gun.
RB&Y.